You can do it yourself. Okay. Okay, how can I determine what is the maximum number of people allowed in the property? And it's the rule of thumb is to have adequate social distancing between different buying parties. So 6 feet apart between different buying parties. That's how you decide. If you have a really small house, it may be one party at a time. If you have a really big house, it could be lots of parties. However, there can never be more than 50 in the yellow tier. And yeah, we're in the yellow tier. So you can have 50, well, most of, yeah, we are. You can have 50 people in at one time if you can have 50 people with maintaining social distancing, but that's the most. Posted rules of entry, we've had those all along. Hopefully you've been posting them. They have changed, and we'll look at the new one today. It's now a 1-pager instead of a 2-pager, and we'll look at that new form. Okay, the cleaning protocols. There are new cleaning protocols. We're going to look at that too, and they're on this form that they attach here. Okay, other precautions should be taken. Open doors and windows, weather permitting, to introduce fresh air. Have sanitizer and wipes available for cleaning, and masks available for people who don't have a mask. Okay, does this change any protocols for appointment-based individual showings? No, what fuck is appointment? Yeah, no, these are the same rules. These are rules for anyone going on the property. So it's all the same. Okay, so that is the car quick guide. And again, it's very quick. It doesn't do a lot of explanation, but it gives you what you need to know. So you should keep it handy if you get, so you know. Okay. This form is for open. This is not a required form. This is a form they're giving you in case you want to do it this way. This is a form that they can register. Put your name, put your this, all those things to register. But then and again, they have to still agree to do all that other stuff, which is again up here on the top of the page. So as long as you can incorporate 1, 2, and 3 into something, then you don't have to use the PED. Okay, let's do the PED all. Okay, so this is the new PED. Let me make this bigger. I don't know if I know how to do that. So this is the new PED. It's short and sweet. Principles acknowledge. And anyone can do this. Principle is voluntarily entering or allowing others to enter a property. A set of rules, including pictograms, which is your posted rules. And principles will be posted at the residence of the property and clearly visible. So they're telling you that's going to be visible. Principal will abide by the posted rules. Principal has been provided with a best practices guideline. Again, it says that they've been provided with it and will comply with the terms of the BPP. I'm not sure, even when you do a PED, how you get them that, because it's not part of the PED. Principal representations to the best of your knowledge. You're not currently afflicted with COVID or any symptoms. You're not experiencing symptoms. You'll inform the broker if there's any change in your health. And then they have a section for the minor, for anybody that's coming in with them that's a minor that can't sign themselves, so they can sign and certify those things for the minor. Okay, if someone comes in and they say, well, I have one problem, I was exposed a week ago, I just, I don't know if I can do the, and you could just write it on there, and if the seller doesn't want them in, then we won't have them in, but they could write it on there, and maybe it's not a big deal and someone will not care. Okay, so by signing below, principals declaring that everything above is true and correct, and by going into the property or allowing someone to enter the property, they understand and agree that no one, including but not limited to broker and agents, can guarantee that you will not be exposed or contract COVID. So that's the new PED. Pretty short, pretty sweet. Up to you. You can use this, or you can use the, I know that I assume they gave them an alternative because everyone's been, do we still have to use the PED? But it might be just easier than using the other form, as far as I can tell. Okay. Okay, here is the new pictogram. It used to be 2 pages. It's now just this 1 page. And it tells them prior to entering the property, you have to sign and complete a sign-in sheet. sign a coronavirus property entry advisory and declaration, the PED, either personally give or provide it at the property, and deliver a copy of that signed form to the listing agent. So you can have the forms all sitting there. They can fill them in right when they get there. They're also agreeing to wash their hands with soap and water hand sanitizer immediately upon entry, still wearing a protective face covering, practicing social distancing, avoid touching surfaces, anything that you don't have to touch. So those are the basic rules. You'll follow all other rules. Well, okay. For the safety of all, you represent that to the best of your knowledge. You're not currently afflicted. You are not experiencing a fever. If anything changes, you'll tell us. Okay. So that's the new posted rules of entry. So every time you have someone going in to look at a property, whether it be an open house or by appointment, you need to have these rules posted. You can take them down between showings if the seller doesn't want them up there, but you have to have them every time that you do a showing. So make sure you're posting the posted rules of entry. Okay, let's go to the... Okay, now I'm not sure, and you guys probably know this better than I should know this, right? I don't know if there's already something in the listing agreement that says yes to an open house that no one's filling out right now because we're not having open houses. So they came up with this addendum to the listing agreement that says, yes, I want to have an open house if you're the seller. So you need to have the seller agree that they do or they don't want open houses. So basically...
And when are we supposed to do this? When we're taking the listing?
The question is, okay, so let me just look at the list. On the listing agreement itself, is there nowhere to have them agree to have open houses? There isn't, right? I've only looked at this.
I'm aware of.
Yeah, I've looked at it a million times. Why? I would know that if there was. Okay. So yeah, so I guess you can do this right when you do the listing agreement if they want open houses, because it's intended to go with an already prepared listing agreement that doesn't have that. So if you have anybody right now, I think this was, right away, if you have anyone right now with whom you have a listing that wants to do an open house, you should get this form filled out.
Okay. If we haven't discussed open houses with them and if we've already told them it's by appointment, do we have to have it signed?
If we're not doing open houses, if we're only doing it by appointment, we do not need to sign. That's not an open house by appointment. Okay. So yeah, you don't need that. But if you have someone who you just took a listing from last week that's like, oh yeah, we haven't sold it yet, let's do an open house, then you need to get this form.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that's the new open house addendum form. Oh my goodness. One more. Okay, so these are the mandatory government restrictions and guidelines. Okay, and we always have to follow these. See, they're not that long, they're one page. And again, this is all going to be repeat, because they're all different forms. And this isn't anything that anyone signs. This is just something we have to follow. Okay. So this tells you all the rules. Agents conducting the showing should meet clients at the property and not drive the client to the property. And that's been there through all of COVID, right? That hasn't changed, that we don't want them in our car. The listing agent must post the posted rules of entry. See, we already knew that because we just went over that. This is basically, they took this and they put it in the car guidelines, so it's all the same. During a showing, induce fresh outside air by opening windows, weather permitting. Follow the California guidance on gatherings, which requires showing to be kept short and outlines the number of people that may be present at a showing based on the tier level, which we just looked at, which we know in the yellow tier is 50 people. Okay, cleaning and disinfecting. So here's the cleaning and... I thought there was a whole page on cleaning and disinfecting. Okay, it is recommended that shown properties have proper sanitation, including hand sanitizer, face coverings, disinfecting wipes for use by visitors as needed. No showing should take place if these products are not available for those entering the property. Okay, I'm sure that was there before. That's not new. Shown properties should have commonly used surface areas cleaned in accordance with the more recent CDC guidelines, which indicate daily cleaning. Oh yeah, that's the CDC guidelines. I have those up here somewhere too. Unless they went away, but I'll put them back up. Okay. Yeah, this is the CDC guidelines for cleaning and disinfecting your facility, which would also mean your house. Okay, cleaning when no people have confirmed or suspected is known to be in the space, cleaning once a day is usually enough. That's a new rule, right? So now they've gone between showings, between everybody coming in and out, they have said, unless you know that, or you suspect that someone was in the space that was known to have COVID, cleaning once a day is usually enough. So you have an open house, you can literally go all day. Okay. Because in germs, you have to disinfect. You should disinfect, kill all the germs once a day. Okay. You can obviously choose to clean more frequently or to disinfect in some other way, but they want you to be really careful if you have a low number of people wearing masks. But again, we're going to require masks. Infrequent hand hygiene, we're requiring that they wash their hands or put sanitizer on. As they come in. So we're not going to have these issues. Okay. So you should have a plan. Okay, what do we need to clean and how often are we going to clean it? So you're showing a house, if it's going to show more than one weekend, then you need to have a plan. So I'm going to, I'm going to do this once a day, or we're going to have the owner, you promise to do this once a day. These are the surfaces you should clean down. You should clean the doorknobs. You should clean the light switches, the things that people touch. And, I think that if someone lives in the house, you should probably, unless it's a tenant, then they won't do it. Probably just ask them to do it. Are they telling you what? Yeah, they tell you what the high touch services are. Pens, counters. What do we have? Doorknobs, light switches, handles, stair railing, elevator buttons. If you have a house with the elevator. Yeah, desk, keyboards, and phones. We don't touch those. Toilets. All the bathrooms should probably be cleaned just in case. So those are the things. It's not the big deal it was before, where we were cleaning down every countertop and everything. It's really just the stuff that people touch. Okay, so those are. I don't remember if we were done with the other page or I just went out in the middle. Which one was it? Was it this one? No. Was it this one? No. Oh. Fine, maybe I just have to go back. Oh. Okay. So that's the cleaning and rules for visitors prior to entering. All persons must. Oh, did we already do this? It seems so familiar because it's in every one of the documents we did, right? 6 feet, visitors face coverings, hand sanitizer, and then cleaning. Oh, here's where they tell you what things to clean. The faucets, the switches, garage door opener buttons, handles and pulls, alarm system controls, fan controls, thermostat, switch box, gates, latches, window locks, pool coverings. So, rules for sellers and occupants. If current occupants are present or participant during the showing, in accordance with their legal rights, they have a right to be there. They should adhere to the same standards regarding physical distancing and property cleaning and disinfecting protocols, and promote a safe environment for all persons. So yes, a seller can stay. You should never tell a seller they don't have a right to be there. You may tell a seller it is not the right thing for you to be there and we'd like you to go or wait outside or something. But if they insist, you have to let them be there. But again, then they have to stay 6 feet away. They can't stand behind the groups and listen to what they're talking about and stuff like that. They have to keep the 6 feet. So those are the documents. I am going to send them all out to everybody today. I don't know. They're all shorter than their predecessors, so that's always a good thing. We're shrinking down here to something that's doable and manageable. So again, those are the guidelines. You should, if you want to have an open house, advertise away, do what you want to do, but make sure that you're using the right forms and make sure you have permission from the seller on the addendum. Make sure that, and I think that that's probably going to be just a COVID thing and not forever, because just to make sure the seller's okay with what's going on and that we assure the seller we're going to do all these things for them, make them wear masks, make them sanitize, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so does anyone have any questions?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Does the PEAD all supersede? Like there was another one in there earlier that you had said that we get.
There was a V for visitors and a S for sellers.
Something like that, but what I mean is like there was another one that was just put out 521. I forgot what it was. I didn't write it down, but
This one can be used by everybody because it's a double-sided.
okay. So, but the PEAD all supersedes basically when we take a listing, we
Right.
can have
Do that supersedes everything else, correct?
Okay, so in other words, make our lives a little bit easier, like we're already doing on the MLS. Hey, fill out the PEAD before you show up. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's way easier than that whole thing about checking in and having to email them the document, and then they have to still sign something that says that we agree. So, I mean, you could copy the PED if you just don't want to use a document called PED, but you might as well do it, right? It's just the easiest way, I think.
Thank you.
Okay, and make sure your TCs are getting the PEDs because we really do like those in the file in case somebody raises some kind of problem.
Do we start using the new form now?
Which one?
Do we start using the new
Yes,
form
these
now?
are all immediately. Yes. Which is why I think they came out with a soft one because they wanted to have the forms out before they came out with a real serious open houses are okay.
Cindy?
Yes.
Cindy, I don't quite understand because I don't know, maybe because I'm driving and I'm not quite getting everything. But you're saying that we're using this new form, like when you know how you say in the MLS there's a place where you can press on using the glide form to have everyone sign. Are you saying we don't have to do that anymore?
Well, you still
have to have everybody sign in advance.
You still need to get it signed. So if it's easier to do it through that way, I'm sure that they have changed their forms too. I would assume Glide is keeping up, and they'll be sending the PED all. Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, we can just do it right through the same method that we've been doing. It's just a different form.
Right. They just updated the form. Right. They updated all of these forms because they took out a whole bunch of stuff, like no open houses and one family in the property at a time. They took all that out because we don't have to deal with that right this minute. Hopefully, never again.
Okay. So you're gonna send those to us?
Yeah, I'm gonna send everything. I'll attach them all. I'll have Jesse send that out. Yeah, Yvonne, do you have a question?
Yes. Could you just clarify one more time? Is this form specifically for open house, or when you have a buyer and you're going to be showing property, can I use this new PEDS form? I just want to clarify.
Use it for everything. If you have a buyer, you have a seller, it's a PED all. It's for everything now. Right, correct.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I will get those. I will send you the it'll probably be, that thing where he sends you all the links, but I'll send you all the links to these documents, and then you can refer to them when you need them. Yeah. And if you have any questions on any of the new documents, obviously give me a call. I think they all say the same thing. We all got it now. We've read it 3 times. We know exactly what we have to do. We don't need appointments. We're still getting PEDs. We're still wearing masks, and we're still doing a little bit of cleaning and hand washing. That's it. I don't know if you could say it in 5 things. I think that's way better than where we were before.
And I can't stress this enough, Cindy. I can't stress this enough. In order to have an open house, you must have a listing.
Oh, well, yes.
So I can't stress that enough. So big fan of all of you on here for going out and getting listings so you can do said open houses that Cindy's talking about.
We really didn't like doing open houses, Robert.
Yeah, my fairy doesn't like open houses.
Well, that's because most people don't know what they're doing at an open house. We'll talk about that another day.
Really? He doesn't like
I'm kind of stressed out that open house is open again.
Yeah. Well, so Cindy, he doesn't like it because the way most agents do open houses is they sit there on their laptop and then people walk in and they go, oh, let me know if you have any questions. And it's like, well, yeah, you're not going to get any business that way.
Really? I feel like all the open houses I go to, they accost you. hello, what are you interested in? What's your this? What's your that? You know, it's like,
Give me their names. I want them
yeah,
here.
would you go work on your computer and mind your own business? Yeah. Actually, I had a realtor show up at my door today. It's the first time since I can't even remember the last time a realtor showed up at my door.
Well, it's because you
And
scare
then,
them all
and then
away.
he knocks on the door and then he walks like 6 or maybe 8 feet away. And I'm not opening the door. I don't know who this guy is, right? So I yell through the door and he's yelling and I can hear him. And he's like, can you hear me? And I'm like, yes. He goes, well, I can't hear you. How do you know I'm talking if you can't hear me? So he comes a little closer and he says, I'm a realtor. And I said, oh, that's so nice. I'm a broker. I have 200 agents. Have a nice day. But anyway.
That's very encouraging, Cindy.
Well, I don't, you know, it's just, if you knock at another broker's door, I hope they're that nice to you. Why should I have taken his card? No. Anyway, so, but that was my first one. It's been so long forever since I've had anyone knock at my door. Okay. I'm not going to say, okay. Bye guys. Have a nice week. And we'll see you on Friday. Wednesday, we are having contracts, advanced contracts. We have had a request to do the buyer broker agreement, which we're going to do. We're going to look at the listing agreement, and we're going to look at counter offers and how to write them. So anyone who could use any help on any of those, Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, if you need the link, let me or Robert know.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. See you Wednesday at 9.
You're the best, Cindy. You're the best. All right. Isn't it nice? Nice having someone that can answer these questions, mainly so I don't have to. All right. Good job, everybody. Good job. Okay. So 4 o'clock, we're still here. If you need anything, let us know. If anyone wants to do some